Have you ever just looked at an animation and thought, wow, I want to do that? That was me 5 years ago. Everyone knows about the pandemic that hit in 2020, I believe. So your girl ended up getting COVID around that time. It was either 2020 or 2021. And I was stuck at home with my family. I was locked in my room for 2 weeks straight, just bored out of my mind. And a thought came to me, why don't I just check out some animated shorts? Because I used to watch a couple of just like 3D animated style videos. I used to watch those in college, but when I was sick and out of my mind, apparently, I was sitting and watching 2D animations, and they just really lit up my world at that time. I was like, where have these things been all my life? And I made a playlist of, all my favorite ones to watch. But I made a playlist, and then I just, every once in a while, I'll go on YouTube and just search for cool animations that I can find, which I'm pleasantly surprised most of the time. So yeah, they just all look so freaking cool. And I was like, I want to do that. And I did not realize how much effort and hard work it took to be able to do that. But alas, here I am working on my very first animation, which is not complete yet, but I'm dedicated to this one. It's like a minute and a half almost animation. But yeah, these things, watching all those animations really got me inspired to want to make my own, because every time I listen to music or I'm just sitting around daydreaming, whatever, images come to mind like a movie, and I'm like, man, I should really draw this out. I should really do this, right? And once I have my mind set on it, I am hitting the ground running. So I started this one 2 years ago. Yeah, let that one sink in. I started off strong. In January of 2022. At this point, it's probably been 3 years ago. I started it. So, did the storyboard and everything. Started sketching it, and then boom. Well, the reason why I stopped is because life and, adulthood is kind of crazy, and having a full-time job is kind of crazy. So my work-life balance was just out of the water at that point. So I wasn't working on it for some years. And now here we are again. I am finished with all the sketches, all the keyframes, and I am finally in the cleanup stage, which I'm surprised I even got this far. And I really, really want to finish this. There are some things that I learned along the way before I even got started. I watched some videos on, the animation basics, which if you are looking into getting into animation, I would suggest looking at some of these videos. And if I can find them, I can put them on the screen. Yeah, so all the basics like timing, spacing, frames per second, I think, which I could have saved myself a lot of trouble if I just sat and studied for, really got everything, the fundamentals down to a T. But what I like to do is I will watch something or read something, and then I just take a mental note in the back of my mind and try to use that later, instead of just when I learn the thing, do the thing right after or right alongside it, and then it will become even clearer to me, which I will probably try to find some time to do that. But I'm kind of just experimenting at the same time and kind of just figuring it out on my own, because me and learning needs some help right now. I need to sit down and focus and be dedicated to whatever I'm trying to learn. Try to work on that as I'm learning the subject. Maybe you're the same way, but if you're not, I would suggest to do it that way, because they stick in your head better when you are studying something and then you're applying it at the same time. It's going to stick a lot better. See, me, I didn't do that. So I feel like maybe I'm struggling a little bit when it comes to animation because of this. And I need to do studies and apply them as I am studying. And that's how, things are going to become even more clearer and more effective. Right now, I have all the time in the world, right? I could be doing these things, but I guess in a way I am doing it because I'll learn a little piece of something and then on the same animation that I'm working on, I'm applying it. Even if I didn't apply it to the beginning, this is my practice run, basically. This very first animation is not going to look perfect. Even though I want it to look perfect, it's not going to be perfect. It's probably going to look a little wonky in a couple of sections, but I really just wanted to get this piece out of my brain. If you're an artist, you know how that feels. You got this image stuck in your head. You got this animation stuck in your head. The thing we want to do is get it out. Tangible, visible, complete. Like, that's me right now. So like, the longer I wait on this, the more it's going to cause turmoil inside because I didn't put it out. So I'm working on this piece. Now this one that I'm working on in this video is only a couple of seconds of the whole entire thing. Like, it's only a couple of seconds. And I'm trying to work diligently on, doing my cleanup, breaking it up in sections and all that stuff, which has been very helpful. And something I do want to share is something that has helped me. If you are getting into animation, there is this chart that I watched this other person's video. Really, the original person who made it has already made a short film, and I have watched it before. That was in the past, but this artist created a chart where you just write out everything, every scene that you need to get done, every little thing, and then pick which difficulty for each part. If you want to work on the most difficult part first to the least difficult part, because it's better to get the harder things out of the way first, and then everything else just becomes easier and easier. And that's what I'm finding as I'm utilizing this as well for the very first time. But this is an artist and this is their film, and I can share the link below to the sheet because it's available to everyone who wants to use it, so I'll put that in the description below. But this has been very helpful to me already, and it just really helps to organize your entire project. You already know what you're working on here, you already know what you're done with this here, with each section, and even seeing the bar go up, it's enough to keep you going, I would say, because we like to know how much progression that we've made, even if it's just a little bit. I feel like that kind of drives me as well when it comes to working on a big project, no matter if it's a minute animation or a 30-second animation or even a 6-second animation. I feel like humans are moved for progress. I don't know. In a way, that is something that does help. Yeah, so this is my practice run, and I like to say my experience so far. I've done the storyboard process, I've done the sketch process, which is I've really been in my rough draft process for the whole entire time, and so going into the cleanup phase, right? So yeah, after doing the storyboard, my rough draft, sketching out all the keyframes, I don't understand why it took me so long to do that. Because I've split it up over days, over months. It's I wasn't really serious about completing it, and I wasn't really dedicated about completing this, putting in the work and the effort. This was in the beginning, which was years ago. This year I came back and I was like, you know what, I'm really going to finish this because over time I have accumulated more animation ideas, which is really crazy. And now I have a list of animations. Now some of them I'm not going to continue on because of different changes in my thinking and all that stuff. And now being a follower of Christ, some things just do not need to come to surface. A lot of wicked things do not need to come to surface. I'm not saying everything I made was wicked, but there's just some things that are unnecessary that doesn't uplift anyone, that doesn't bring a light. If it's just nothing but darkness and there's no light in it, I'm just not going to put something out like that. Now, there are things where good versus evil, light versus dark is a real thing, and it's spiritual and it's in real life. So I can make stuff like that as long as evil does not win, because what are we really talking about here, right? So I just have to be mindful of what I'm putting out into the world. I want to be a light to the world and, help aid someone, plant a seed of light into somebody, because that can really go a long way, especially through artwork. So I have a list of animations that I want to get out, And the more time goes on, the more ideas come into my brain, and I'm like, oh, I should animate this. Like, this would be a really cool animation. And now even brand new stuff that comes from the Lord is just like, wow, I should actually really make this because it could help somebody. So this is my practice run, because there are things I want to make and I want them to look really smooth and really clean. And I know I have to like practice applying the fundamentals of animating. It's gonna happen because this is just something that has become a desire of mine, is to animate a lot. And it's just like, I don't know what I'm asking for, right? Because I'm in the process. It is tedious sometimes, but it is very rewarding once you see your characters move. And it's just like, I've been drawing my characters since 2017 and I'm making a story for them. But it's a whole different thing once you make them move and you can see their characteristics throughout their movements. And I'm just like, man, I love this. Of course, it's just me working on this, so it's going to take a long time. But eventually I'm going to get to the end and I'm going to have a finished piece. And I'm going to look back on it and be like, wow, this is actually so good. And I'm going to be like, wow, I've actually been dedicated to this project, of seeing it through to the end. I've been diligent. I haven't been taking months between working on it. Like, I'm working on it every week. Even if it's not every day, I'm touching it every week for at least a couple hours a day. Not a day, not a couple hours a day, but every other day, because I'm working on other stuff at the same time, which is probably not good, because if I was just working on this animation every single day and nothing else, I would have been a lot closer to being done. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, this has definitely been a very interesting experience. It's been really fun. I've been able to see my character Justice move for the first time, and it's just like, wow. Once it's completely finished, I'm going to probably bawl my eyes out at the end, because the end of my animation always gets me. Now, you're not going to see that until I actually finish and post the entire thing, which I would like for it to be sometime this year. If this is the only thing I work on for a while, I should just probably do that, like one project at a time, like one project. That doesn't mean I can't do illustrations, like just one project. And I gotta fit like comics into that, but I haven't started my webcomic yet. I'm still writing it, but I'm getting closer and closer to beginning drawing it, and I want to do like some practice runs with that also. I think I'm gonna figure out a schedule for all that, but maybe just one project at a time, meaning one animation at a time, not doing illustration, comic, and animation at the same time, you know? It's a lot. Even if I have all day to do it, it's a lot. And on top of that, making YouTube videos. It's all gonna get figured out. It's gonna get finished regardless. But now I'm having thoughts like maybe I should just solely focus on animating cleanup right now. Because the more time I spend on it, the further I get, the closer I am to getting done. So it's definitely something to think about. And sometimes I get like a little cross-eyed while I'm working on an animation and I want to just draw something else and do sketches and stuff. And I think there's a way I can just fit all of that into a month, because I also have my Patreon, which I'm putting my updates, just about everything that I'm working on Patreon. Some of these things are not going to make it to YouTube or Instagram. So if you want to see what else that I'm working on, sneak peeks and all this stuff, even sneak peeks for this animation that I'm working on. So if you want to see that, be sure to check out my Patreon, and I put that also in the description below, or you can look on my main page, go to the link to my Patreon and just check it out if you want to see any of that. I just started it, so I'm working on building it up, which I've been doing pretty well posting on there lately, so there's a lot more to see there. So yeah, if you want to support me doing this full-time, consider it, and I thank you in advance if you do. If not, no hard feelings. It's whatever you want to do. All that being said, I think I want to end this video here. Thank you so much for staying to the end of this video, and if you did, comment a pretzel emoji, because I don't know, I don't really eat pretzels, but it's kind of cute. It's kind of giving cute, and it's kind of giving you watch the end of this video. So make sure to comment a pretzel emoji. Comment anything else if you have any thoughts on anything that I've said in this video. I would love to conversate in the chat below. So with all that being said, thank you again for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.